Today is going to consist of, I'm going to explain the class. You are going to take some notes today, so if you have a notebook, why don't you get that out now? People at home, go get a notebook now. And you will be working with clay today. People at home are going to be working with clay, and the people who are here are going to be working with clay. I normally wouldn't have this mixer running while I'm talking. However, we are really short of clay right now. And so for us to have some clay to work with today, I'm just going to keep that running. So hopefully it'll get to be. All right. If you didn't bring a ceramic notebook today to eat here, oh, incidentally, did anybody get my message that I sent out on Friday about bringing paper towels today and a notebook? If you didn't bring it today, it's fine. Bring it for tomorrow, please. But we will desperately need paper towels because we can't do the community towel that we used to do. You know, there used to be towels. In fact, there's one there right now that I have to take down. We can't do this anymore because we can't have everybody using the same towel. So we use paper towels now, which means we run out so frequently. So I need everybody to bring in one roll of paper towels or a box of Kleenexes. It could be a good alternative too, because we'll need those this trimester. And please remember to bring that for tomorrow, all right? And if you don't have a ceramics notebook that you can leave here today, because you're gonna get a locker in here today. If you don't have a notebook that you can leave here, bring that for tomorrow too, please. All right, so let's jump into what this class is all about. The purpose of Ceramics B is to use the skills and vocab that you learned in Ceramics A. For some of you, that was earlier this year. Hey, Sarah. Grab a seat anywhere there's a piece of cloth. And for some of you, Ceramics A was 3 years ago. And so we all have different kind of levels of where we're at and what we remember. But we're going to review the little things that you need to remember, and then we'll move on from there. We're going to expand that knowledge from Ceramics A to more complex and sophisticated forms, techniques, and vocabulary. And you're going to get to flex your creative muscles and have a little bit of free choice, a little bit of artistic license in what you do, because you are artists that are a little bit more accomplished in this class. So I'm going to give you a little bit more leeway there. We're also going to do some really fun firing techniques, and I'll get into that in a sec. All right, so the first project that we're going to do, we'll start this tomorrow, is a wind chime. So we're going to start out really small, making the wind chime pieces out of clay, and then after they're fired, we'll glaze them. I'll show you how you could glaze things and hang them in the kiln, so you can actually glaze both sides of the item. You don't have to leave one side blank. And then we'll assemble them after they've been glaze fired. We'll be making our own tools and doing a little bit of design work with those handmade tools. We'll be making a plate. It can be like a chips and salsa plate. It can be a sushi plate. It can be a dessert plate. It can be a dinner plate. It can be whatever kind of plate you want to make. And this is one of the objects that you could make on the wheel if you choose to do so. I'll be demonstrating how to make it with hand building with a slab of clay, because the people who are at home, you're going to have to make this project with slabs. And so everybody's going to learn how to make the plate with slabs, but then if you wish, you could try making your plate on the wheel. I'll be demonstrating how to do that too. You'll be learning a technique called paper masking. You'll be making a mug. You'll be making a creature mug that has a little creature down at the bottom. So when you've drank all your coffee, that little creature will be saying hello to you from the bottom of your cup. We'll be making a lidded box that you could turn into a candle holder or a jewelry holder or an incense holder. And we're going to be making that box out of raku clay. So this is something you've never done before. You're going to be using a special kind of clay. We're going to be building a kiln outside and firing these pots, just these pots, outside and using special glazes that when they're fired in this special raku kiln, the glazes turn all rainbowy and metallic-y and shiny, and you can't get these effects any other way. It's a really special firing technique. People who are at home, you're going to be invited to come back and be part of this too if you feel comfortable doing so. And so we'll do that a little bit later in the trimester when the weather is more predictable. And then your final project, it was going to be a teapot. And you can certainly make a teapot for your final project. But what I did last trimester, and the kids really enjoyed it, is I just let the last project be a free choice project. It can be whatever you want it to be. And so some kids made teapots, some kids made, whatever they wanted to make. And so you can already start thinking about what you might want to make for that free choice project. That'll be your last project. So some technical things you need to know. There will be an assignment every day. And so that assignment is either going to be a photo or a video. So you're going to always photograph what you've done for the day. I call that your progress pic. People at home, same. You're going to photograph whatever progress you made for the day. And you're going to submit that by 3 p.m. every day. And that's worth 20 points. So every single day, you're going to have a 20-point assignment. So if you skip day after day after day after day, it might seem like those are little insignificant assignments, but let me tell you, they really add up. So you want to get in that habit of every day before you clean up, take a photo of whatever you've done for the day, upload it to Schoology, and get your 20 points. All the projects, like final projects, I don't grade by actually picking up your project and viewing it anymore because the kids at home can't do that. They can't give me their projects. So I grade your projects now by you turning in a 360-degree video of your projects. And honestly, it ends up working in your favor because I'm not actually picking up your work. And if it's really heavy, I can't really tell if it's really heavy, which you would get points off if it was really heavy. So it kind of works in your favor. The grades have been higher ever since I've been doing this, this way of turning projects in. So it does work to your advantage. If you want to fire and glaze and keep any of your projects, you can totally do that. People who are at home, you can also bring in, and I can fire and you can glaze and keep any of your projects that you want to keep. All that I ask is that you donate $1 per project to cover the clay and the glaze that you'll end up using. So I'm not doing a firing fee in this class. It just seemed kind of like it wasn't going to work to do a firing fee this year. So there's no upfront $5 or $10 fee. It's just if you want to keep something, please donate $1 to the program so I can recoup that cost of clay and glaze. And same for you people at home. All right, I do want to show you this really quick little video. A lot of you know how to do this, but not everybody does. And you're going to have to use this in my class. So I recommend when you submit your daily videos or your daily photos or whatever I've asked you that day, I suggest you use your Chromebook. I know not everybody carries around their Chromebook or you don't prefer to use your Chromebook. But when you take a lot of photos in my class or a lot of videos in my class, that just eats up a lot of your phone's memory. So using your Chromebook is a great way to do those photos or do those videos and you're not, clogging up your phone. So just check out this video really quickly. It shows you how to take a photo and a video on your Chromebook and upload it to Schoology.
So to take a picture on your Chromebook, and here in the search bar, you can type in camera. And then it's going to pull up an app where you can take a picture of yourself. So hold up your artwork in the camera. Try to make sure that there's enough light where you can see the picture that you drew with a decent quality. Then click that white button there to take your picture.
This is also where you take a video.
It's automatically going to save that picture in your files on your Chromebook. Now you're going to click the file folder, or you can type in files and click that icon. And that's where it is. You go downloads. The camera automatically saves pictures you took in the downloads area. So that's where you can find it on the computer. Now let's go over to Schoology. You can click the Schoology icon. And to find art, go to courses and scroll down, and you should find a picture that says art class. And click on that. There should be a picture with some paintbrushes, paints in the background. And when you open up the art class page, you go to the assignment that I'm asking you to upload your work to. So for example, this is just an example you can practice. Whenever you're in the assignment, you click submit assignment, that button right there. And what it'll do is it'll pull up a little window, and there's a button in the middle to upload a file. So click that right there. And then it'll open up your folder And if you search for the photo that you want to upload, the picture that you took earlier of your work, then click that and it'll upload the file. And you can also leave a comment if you want to. Click submit, and that's how you upload and submit a photo for assignment. You can click on the photo after you submitted it and just double check to make sure it's the photo that you meant to submit. Okay.
All right.
So,
So
take a picture.
I apologize for those of you who are like, duh, yeah, I know how to do that. But what I've realized is that not everybody does know how to do that. So just so you're aware, I would encourage you whenever you're taking photos or videos for my class, use your Chromebook to do it. If you would rather use your phone and you know how to do it, and you've been doing it for a whole year using your phone, then do that. Whatever's more comfortable for you. Okay, BLA students who are on the line at home, really important. I'll talk to you about your swag bag, your clay, and your tools in a moment. But one of the things that's really important that I want to point out is you have two different kinds of clay. One that's in a big bag, that's your stoneware, and I'll talk about stoneware in a bit. And then you have a small bag that says raku on it. Make sure you do not use the raku clay until I tell you to do so. All right. So you're using the big bag starting today, and for the next several days, you'll use the big bag of stoneware. And I'll tell you when we get to the raku. And people who are here, don't even worry about it. You won't even have access to raku until we're ready to use it. All right, so this is what we're going to do today. You are going to get some notes on some new Ceramics B vocab, so you should have your notebook ready to go. We're going to learn how to make fortune cookies with clay, and we're going to be doing that for a reason, which I'll explain. And then you're going to submit your first progress picture today. So we'll get in that good habit of submitting a photo of whatever we did today and uploading it to Schoology by 3 p.m. Really, you should do it now during class. Like, don't wait till 3 p.m. to submit because you will forget. I've encountered that many a time. All right, so I'm going to put these words up on the screen. I want you to take a couple minutes here to please write these down in your notebook. If this is a notebook for another class, that's totally fine. So people at home, you should be writing this down in your notebook too. Really only the first term is new. All the other terms are review, but they're important terms, so we're reviewing them. All right, keep writing if you haven't gotten it all down yet. I'm going to start elaborating on these terms. And so, so they start being worked into our common vocabulary in the classroom. So first term is stoneware clay. That's the clay you'll use in ceramics B. If you were in ceramics A in person, you used earthenware. That red clay that kind of, if you wore white clothing, it might stain your clothing because it had iron in it. So we're using stoneware in this class, which is gray and does not have iron in it, and it will not stain your clothes. So that's great. And it washes out, so that's great too. And that's the main reason that I even have my ceramics A kids using stoneware now, because if they are taking it home, I don't want them to have clay that might stain their carpet at home. So stoneware is a clay body that becomes mature. That means it gains its full strength when fired up to 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is equal to cone 6. That's a different number than you learned in ceramics A, which was cone 06. Stoneware contains grog, which are little rocks, which give it strength. So stoneware is called stoneware because of the little rocks in it. So today, when you grab some stoneware and start using it, if you kind of mash it through your fingers, you'll feel that grog, those little gritty rocks inside there that make this clay really strong. Second term is bisque firing. You know that term. You know it from ceramics A. That's the first firing, which brings the clay up to cone 06. So we bisque fire, no matter what kind of clay it is, we bisque fire to the same temperature, cone 06, which is 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. That makes it permanent. If something were going to blow up, that's the firing it would blow up in. And so we remember that air and water are the two things that would make our pot blow up, and that water is the worst one. A water explosion just blows it up beyond all recognition. An air explosion, usually we can fix and repair with some glue or some glaze, but water is worse. The second firing is the glaze firing. That's after we've painted some glaze on our work. And in this class, you're going to be able to either paint a glaze on, or we have some glazes that are dip glazes that you can dip your project in to glaze it, which is kind of fun. And so the glaze firing is much hotter, and that's where the clay gets up to its maximum temp of cone 6, which is equal to 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. Melts the glaze, makes it food safe, makes it colorful. Virtually every glaze that I have for stoneware is a food safe glaze. And then final terms are your 5 stages your clay goes through. I want you to remember these because they are really important to know what you can and can't do with the clay. So plastic clay that comes right out of the mixer is soft and weak. Leather hard clay is the magic stage where you can do anything with the clay. You can join with it, you can build things and they don't sag. So we try and keep our clay in that leather hard stage for as long as possible. The bone dry stage means it's totally dry, it's very fragile, it's ready to be fired. The bisqueware stage means it's been fired once and is ready to put glaze on it. The glazeware stage, it's been fired twice and it's now food safe and ready to take home and use in your daily life. So those are the 5 stages of clay, and I just wanted to make sure that those were fresh in your memory because you will have to make some choices about your work based on what stage it's in. So I'm going to leave this up here for another minute or two for those who still need it. Now, I want to be able to have a little conversation with the BLA kids, so I'm going to give you guys who are here a task. And it's going to take you probably about 5 minutes to do this, and then we'll come back and we'll do I'll demo our clay project for today. We are working with clay today. So you'll notice that in front of you, you have these canvas cloths in front of you. So I have those there for a reason. First of all, you're going to be wedging your clay right at your spot instead of wedging at the wedging table. So you have an annual wedging table there. Also, I have them out because I'm trying to designate like where 3 feet apart are. So if you're on an edge, you kind of want this to be like as close to the edge as you can, and you are on the other edge as close to the edge as you can. People who are on middle tables, you're going to be in the exact middle. And so what I would like for you to do is use the duct tape. There's duct tape in the center tables, 2 rolls of duct tape, and tape around every single side of your canvas. So that canvas is permanently attached in that spot on your table. Then also take one of these blue name tags and choose a locker. Beneath where you sit are lockers. Put your name, your hour on this blue sheet and tape it to one of those lockers. Okay? I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do all that, and then I'm going to talk to my VLA kids while you're doing it. Hi, VLA people. I'm coming for you. And Matt, back up on the spot. So let's see. I'm going to end the show here. I'm going to stop sharing temporarily. And let's see. I'll unplug. I'll do this, 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 this. Okay. Find this mask. All right. Hi, everybody. I want to be able to see all of you here, so I'm going to change my layout. There we go. Okay. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to ask each of you to unmute yourselves as I ask you a question, because I want to see who has picked up their swag bag and who still has to do that. So, Aaliyah, did you get your swag bag yesterday?
Yes, I did.
You did. All right. And I'm sorry I spelled your name wrong on the bag.
Oh, you're fine.
All right. Thanks, Aaliyah. Ashley Knox, were you able to come and get your swag bag yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
Good. You found it. Awesome. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Vernon, did you get your swag bag yesterday?
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Vernon. Rachel, did you get yours?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks, Rachel. Isabel, did you get yours?
I didn't yet, but I can come today and get it.
Okay. I'm wondering if I even made one for you. Honestly, I don't remember writing down your name. So if you come today, come after 1:35, after the school day has ended. And then if you don't see one with your name on it out in the hall, come into the classroom and I'll make you one. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Isabel. Isaac, did you get yours?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks, Isaac. Davis, you got your box of stuff, right?
Yeah, I did.
Awesome. Thanks, Davis. And Sam Nelson, were you able to come in and get your swag bag?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam. Okay. So a few people that are not here that did not get it, but that's okay. I'll reach out to them individually. Okay. So the main reason I wanted to touch base with you guys is just, obviously your situation is kind of special. I apologize for the fact that when I'm talking in class, I'm mainly talking to the kids who are there because they're kind of like right in front of my eyeballs. And so a lot of the lesson gets tailored to them, but I haven't forgotten about you. And so every assignment that we do, you can do just as well. Yeah. Just as well as they can at home. Okay, so you're not going to be hampered in any way. The only thing that you're going to be hampered with is you're not going to be able to use the wheel is kind of the main thing. So I'm sorry about that. I wish I could give you a wheel. I just don't have enough. Okay, so just a few little things, little pointers I have for working from home. These are things that I've learned after having a lot of VLA kids this year. The daily photos. It's going to be really easy to fall behind on that. The taking a photo of whatever you've accomplished for today and uploading it. There really is an assignment, like a photo like that, due pretty much every day. So make sure you keep up with that. The biggest reason kids have failed my class when they've been VLA is that they've forgotten to do those daily photos. And even if you turn in every project, if you don't do the daily photos, it's really hard to pass. So just a pointer about that, to remember to do the daily photos. Today, I'm going to have you unpack the swag bag that you got. And in the Ziploc baggie, there's a piece of cloth, like the people here are taping down now. I want you to get out that piece of cloth and tape that to your home workspace, wherever you're working at home. If you go between houses, a good thing to do for your home studio is to get a tote bin and tape that canvas to the top of the tote bin, and then just keep all your projects and your tools and your clay inside that tote bin so you can move it back and forth between houses. If you don't have a good workspace at home, I don't recommend using your kitchen table or your desk or an area that you have to use for other things. So then do the tote pin idea, where it's easy to transport and easy to get out of the way when you're not working. Otherwise, if you have a card table or a plastic table or something you can set up in your basement or your garage or somewhere out of the way, your mudroom, your laundry room, those are good spots to work if you have them at home. Okay. So you are able to bring things in to fire. It just requires a little bit more work on your part because you have to come here and carefully bring your project to school. I would recommend bringing it in when it's in its leather hard stage. So if it were to break, we could still fix it. And then I just ask that you bring in $1 to cover the cost of firing and glazing. If you are able, if you're not able to pay and you still want to fire your work, that's fine too. I'll fire anything you want. And it doesn't matter if you are not able to pay at this time. All right, so just make sure you attend the Google Meet every day. If you're not able to attend the Google Meet for some reason, I do post a video of the Google Meet. Like I'm recording this video right now and I'll post it as soon as I have time. But I really recommend that you're online for the Google Meet each day, just because then you can ask questions, we can touch base. It's a lot more personal. It becomes easy to put work off if you don't attend the class. So I recommend attending the class. Oh, and last thing, when you're cleaning up from working at home, please don't wash your clay hands in your sink if you can help it. If a lot of clay goes down your sink, it could end up messing with your pipes at home. So what I would do is maybe have a bucket of water and first wash your hands in that bucket to get the majority of the clay off your hands, and then just throw that bucket of clay water outside. It won't hurt your dirt, it won't hurt your grass, and then wash your hands at the sink. So don't send a lot of clay down your drains because that's not going to be good for your drains, and it's not going to be good for your relationship with the people that live at your house. So just a warning about that. What questions do you guys have about doing all of this at home? No questions? All right. So then I'm gonna bring you guys back out into the classroom now. I see that I hear that the duct tape noises have slowed down, so I think they're almost ready. So then I'm gonna do a demo for you and for them on how to make fortune cookies. And then that'll be it. You can sign off after the demo, and then you can make your fortune cookies, take a photo of those fortune cookies, and I would like you to set up your workspace first, tape down your cloth, and then make your fortune cookies. And then your photo for today needs to be your fortune cookies on top of your taped down canvas. All right, that's what they're going to be doing too. So that's your assignment for today, due by 3 p.m. And I would recommend that after I'm done with the demo, do it right away. Get in those habits of working while we're technically during the class time hours, okay? All right, so if you do think of a question for me, go ahead and pipe in. You can unmute yourselves and ask it. I'm gonna take you back into the classroom. All right. Everybody get their cloth tape down now and sign on your locker? Make sure your name is on that sign, by the way. All right. Time to get some more lights on. Time to work with some clay. Turn off that mixer. So let's do that. Actually, so today's assignment is to learn how to make fortune cookies out of clay. Has anyone made fortune cookies before, so you know the process? Oh, okay. So the reason we're doing this is because first, just to learn a fun trick. I think it's kind of fun too. But secondly, we're going to need to make slip here real soon. People at home, you're going to need to make slip too. And so the fortune cookies that you make today will become the slip that you will use in the future. So, and I'll explain how that's going to happen in a little bit. So I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to stop sharing. And allow me to do that? It will. Hurrah. All right. So the first thing you need to make your fortune cookies is some clay. So normally, if everybody could glance back here for a second, normally you would get your clay from this silver bin. You just push the lid back and you get your clay and you bring it back to your table and you wedge it at your table. This bin is empty right now because I had to take all the clay out of it to be able to fill the swag bags for the kids who are at home right now. So there's no clay in here right now. So we're gonna have to get our clay directly out of this mixer here. And I've been running this mixer nonstop because I know that the clay is really wet today. So it is what it is. We'll just have to use wet clay. So the amount of clay that you're gonna need, I would say, is about the size of an apple. So you're gonna get an apple of clay. People at home, you're gonna go inside your big bag of clay, not the little one that says raccoon, but your big bag. You're gonna get an apple of clay. You're gonna take it back to your table. And I'm gonna work here since nobody's sitting here. And let's see, I'm gonna do this. Of course, my hands are full of clay now. And I'm gonna pin. And I'm gonna go like this for the people at home. All right, those of you who are further away, how about if you come over here so you can see a little bit more easily. All right, so this is not taped down, but at home, you're gonna have your cloth taped down and everybody else here has their cloth taped down. So I'm gonna wedge this a little bit. It's gonna be harder for me because my cloth is not stationary. The first thing I'm gonna do is just slam it down a couple of times. This helps pop the air bubbles that are inside there, as you remember from Ceramics A. And then I'm gonna wedge it. I'm gonna ram's head wedge it where I push the clay away and pull it back toward me. And the more I wedge this, the more it's gonna dry out, the less it's gonna stick to my hands. So like I said, the clay is really soft today, and it is what it is. People at home, your clay will not be that soft. So I just wedged that, I don't know, 10 times, 20 times, you know, just until you feel like it's not quite so sticky. Then I'm flattening with my hands, and then I'm going to use a trick to make this even more flat by throwing the clay diagonally on my cloth. So I'm going to throw it away from myself, and then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to turn and have a different edge up, and I'm going to throw it diagonally away from myself, and I'm going to pick it up and have a different edge facing up. So you always have a different edge facing up, and then you just turn and throw and turn and throw. And if you're always turning it before you throw it, it's going to stretch the clay pretty effectively. So out of that apple-sized chunk of clay, I got a pretty good slab there. So now my next step is to cut out 3 circles. Those are going to be my 3 cookies. You're going to make 3 fortune cookies today. And so there's a cup on every table, and I'm going to use this cup. I don't really want to use it like a cookie cutter because then my clay would get stuck inside there. So I'm just going to trace the cup. And so people at home, you have toothpicks for this to take the place of needle tools. People who are here, you have needle tools. So right here are the needle tools. Clean ones are in front. When you're done using it for the day, put it in the box in the back. Dirty ones are going to be in the back. So I'm going to take a needle tool. This is I think the only tool that you'll need today. And I'm going to cut out 3 circles. And I'm going to cut it on top of my cloth so it doesn't get stuck. There's 1, 2, and the third one, 3. People who are at home, you have a plastic or a paper cup in your bag. You're going to use that to trace and make your circles. All right, so now this extra clay, especially for the people who are at home, wedge this back up again and put it back in your stoneware bag because you have a finite amount of clay, so don't waste it. Put this back in your good clay that you can use for later. All right, then on the table in front of you are little orange strips of paper. So you're gonna write 3 fortunes inside these little cookies that you're gonna make. So the fortunes are what comes next. So I'm gonna write 3 little fortunes here. I'm not gonna tell you what they are because you're actually gonna be breaking open somebody else's fortune cookie when they're dry. So you got to be nice in these fortunes that you're writing because someone else is going to open it up. Okay, so I'm going to put a fortune in each cookie like that. And then I'm going to take my little fortune cookie and I'm going to taco it. Okay, people back there, can you see? Okay, I'm trying to hold it so the camera can see it and you can see it. So I'm going to taco it with the fortune inside. Okay, nothing too special about that. But then I'm going to take my cup again, and I'm going to place that little taco balanced on the lip of my cup, and I'm going to slowly bring down the points of my taco on the edge of that cup. That's what makes it a fortune cookie. You like that? So now I'm carefully going to try and take it off the rim of my cup. Not too bad. Fortune cookie number 1. Then I'm going to do that to the second one. Really gently. I mean, if it rips, it's not the end of the world. This is going to be turned into slip anyway. This isn't going to be necessarily a beautiful finished product. But you know, go slow, so maybe it would be less likely to rip. Remember, clay is made up of platelets. So if you push those platelets too far, that's where they start to rip. So if you nudge them along, they're going to be less likely to rip. Okay, there's fortune cookie number 2. And the third one, folding it over gently. Maybe it's good that the clay is so soft today because it's going to be less likely to rip. We'll see. If you wedge it really well, it'll also be less likely to rip. So wedging is actually sometimes can be tedious, and sometimes kids want to skip it because it's extra time, but it's really important. It strengthens the clay and makes those little platelets stick together more effectively. Okay, so that one didn't turn out quite as good. That one had some rips to it, but there's fortune cookie number 3. So then also, actually I should stop here. Your assignment for today is to take a photograph of your 3 fortune cookies on top of your cloth. Okay, and that's what you're going to turn in today on Schoology. The assignment is already there. Then when you're done, you're going to place your fortune cookies inside this tray or plate or whatever is on your table. Everybody's going to put their fortune cookies in that common plate because the fortune cookie that you end up melting to make your slip really doesn't have to be yours. So we're going to put them all in one common place because we actually need these to get bone dry. So we're not going to put them in your locker. We're going to keep them out in the open. Okay? So that is your process for today. Any questions on what you're going to be doing? People who are here, I'll be here to answer your questions if you have them. People at home, I'll give you a chance to ask a question before you sign off. If you who are here in person don't have any questions, you can get your apple of clay out of the mixer. Please try to socially distance as you're doing that, all right? So just kind of keep your distance from everybody else. All right, I am going to unpin myself. I'm going to stop recording. That's not what I wanted.